welcome to We're Not Wizards. We are the best, but not wizards. Enjoy the show!
To another episode of We're Not Wizards. My name's Richard.
And my name's Jake.
And today we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be talking about
Marvel Snap.
Yeah, because we've both been playing it for the last couple of months. And are you having fun with it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
A lot of fun. I'm having too much fun with it. I'm playing it all this, which is one of the reasons that we're doing this podcast in the first place, was because Jake wanted to come on and talk about it. So we're going to, this is obviously pretty rough and ready because it's our first time, and as I say, your first podcast about Marvel Snap will be awful. So here we go. But we're just going to bring it up to date with a couple of little things that we've noticed, maybe talk about our favourite decks, what we're liking, what we're not liking at the moment, and take it from there. So if we start off with a little bit of news, I guess the first thing is Kitty Pryde.
Yes.
Now, the Kitty Pryde deck has been a little bit, not controversial in any way, because what it allows you to do is it allowed you to basically pull Kitty Pryde from the play area back into your hand.
I know, I still don't have her, sadly.
I don't think anybody has her at the moment because she's been pulled due to technical difficulties that apparently she was affecting decks and people weren't able to play against them. So that's been pulled. It's currently under review. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that one. What do you think of that? What did you think of the chance to be able to pull them back into your hand again?
I think that would be kind of bad in a way, because if you're gonna do like Spider-Man on someone, put all the power down, but before you move it away, and then you put it back and it has even more power, I think that would be very broken.
Yeah, but so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with Kitty Pryde at the moment. I think the general thing just now is they're still rocking through. Is it Days of Future Past, which is this current season just now. Which contains like your Sentinels and your Nimrods, the big huge pink.
Yeah, the big.
What do you know Nimrod what flavour do you think Nimrod would be if he was a sweetie?
Probably strawberry.
I bet you it'd be cool if Nimrod smelled the strawberries, wouldn't it? Kind of came up and said, "I'm going to destroy you," and then all of a sudden you go, "But you smell of strawberries." You're like Teddy Ruxpin. I think Teddy Ruxpin smelled. Oh, that was somebody else. I don't know. You won't know Teddy Ruxpin because you're far too young. Anyway, we're going to talk very quickly
about our decks.
This is going to be the part of the show where we were thinking about doing kind of lots and lots of decks, and then we thought that would probably bore people. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out the decks that we're playing now, just to give you an idea. It's the beginning of April. I think the new season is potentially going to start in the next, maybe
2 days.
2 days. So we're going to pick out one of the decks that we've been playing and enjoying and having fun with. So, do you want to tell us what deck do you want to tell us about?
So I have a deck called Sunspot, which I've been using because I have Sunspot in it and She-Hulk, because they work very well together. So the first card we have is Hood.
Why do you use Hood?
I use Hood because he's good, because I can get, if we have any locations, which makes it only like 4 turns or anything, because he's a 1/6 he turns into in a way.
It's the bar with no name, isn't it? It's a negative location, and you can use him on that.
I've got Ant-Man in here because he's just helpful for my 1 costs.
He's an old one though. He's been around since the first. I think he's maybe one of the first cards that you get, isn't he?
Yes, he is, but I think he's a very good card.
Why do you think he's a good card?
Because I've been using him for when I've just... It depends, in a way, because he's an end game sort of. If I see him at all, I will use him for help.
How does he help? What is it saying? If you have 3 other cards, he gets +3 power. So he's got a base power of 1.
But he can go up to 4.
That's pretty helpful. What's next? What'd you get next in your deck?
Sunspot.
Good old Sunspot. We like a bit of Sunspot, don't we?
Sunspot, I would say, is one of the best cards in the game.
That's a bold claim there.
I would say.
Why do you like Sunspot? You can't just say...
Because he's just so good, because he gives you all that leftover energy you have. Boom, now that's plussing on all of your cards.
Yeah.
Plussing on Sunspot by 1. +1 for each one energy you've left. So if you're going to do some shenanigans where you're skipping every turn...
Yeah.
You can get Sunspot to very high.
Is actually also not bad in the Sinister locations because you can add them all and then you leave a couple of turns where you're not using any energy and they kind of bulk up that way, which is kind of pretty cool as well. What's next?
I've got Okoye there because she just boosts up all your cards by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple. It's on reveal.
We forgot about Sunspot is if you're playing She-Hulk, which is what you're doing, you want to miss out a turn at the end, don't you?
So I get +6 on Sunspot and my She-Hulk's at 0.
See, that's clever. Right, what you got next after Okoye?
I've got Scorpion here, added in very lately just because it's annoying to get Scorpions. I'm trying to annoy people in a way, so they will retreat and I will get my cubes.
Scorpion and Wong and Odin.
I don't have Wong.
I know you don't have Wong. We're gonna get I know. We can get ready. Who's next?
We've got Morph. Morph I have him because sometimes I transform into some people's massive cards. And he's just a 3-cost card which doesn't really do that much in a way.
That's pretty cool.
So I've been using them for that.
Yeah. Next. Who you got next?
The next card is Wolfsbane. She works very well with your Ant-Man because if you have 3 cards here, so you put him in first before Wolfsbane, then you Wolfsbane. Mm-hmm. Wolfsbane practically puts up 2 power for each card you have here, and it's an on reveal.
So that can boost all 4 then, can't it? So that's pretty cool. Okay,
and then after we have Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is your little Timmy person who's like, okay, it's time. This person's gonna absolutely destroy me. Time to Shang-Chi and just ruin their time with that 9 power or more cards.
Shang-Chi is, Shang-Chi is good fun. If you manage to get Shang-Chi going, you can annoy an awful lot of people. Who you got next?
We've got Ka-Zar for those 1-cost cards, because he will boost them up to making them a lot stronger and better. Also makes your hood only a -1.
And that's important.
Yes, that is helpful.
Have you seen Ka-Zar quite a lot recently?
Sometimes.
I've seen Ka-Zar an awful lot. I think for a while people were using a Ka-Zar, Patriot, Blue Marvel, Onslaught kind of boost with Ultron. So I've seen some people use that together to kind of basically play Ultron on the kind of the final card. It only works. It works quite well if you've just got Ka-Zar, Patriot, and Blue Marvel. You don't necessarily need Onslaught. Onslaught's just like a nice little kind of horrific boost to it all as well. What we got next?
Next we have Magik. This is
Magik.
Amazing. Saves the entire deck.
Okay, why does it say it saves the entire deck?
Magik is a 5/3 card, but it makes it a 7-turn game, which is a game changer.
Why? It's a game changer in a couple of ways. I like Magik because it turns to a 7. But I also like Magik because it's got an ability to destroy a location as well, which is a very, very powerful secondary use. And at the moment, when people are using Camouflage and it's got a double reveal,
I know, it's
very good at kind of stealing the thunder from people's kind of double on reveal powers as well. And it's good for getting rid of like any of the negative zones or anything, for just clearing up.
Making it a bit easier for yourself.
And it's also very, very important for this next card that you play.
So we've got She-Hulk here, who goes down every cost you leave last turn, and she will go down by. So normally, on turn 5 you'll Magik, and then for turn 6, because you got your Sunspot down, he'll get +6, and your She-Hulk will be 0 for turn 7 from your Magik.
Yep. So you can use your She-Hulk that way, and then you can also kind of twin them in with the other card. Have you got one more?
And then the next card is Infinaut, who is a very, very big one.
And you have to actually, you can't just say it's Infinaut, you've got to say Infinaut. How do you call it?
Infinaut.
Infinaut.
Because
you've
otherwise...
got to say more exciting than that. Infinaut.
Infinaut.
That's better. Why do we like Infinaut?
Infinaut is a 620, but you can't play him if you've played a card before that turn. So, on the turn before. But so with Infinaut, you can use him to go because you've missed the turn. So your She-Hulk is a 0, your Sunspot's went up 6. Yeah. Then that turn you've used your Infinaut and She-Hulk, which is all together. You don't even have to do it at the same location.
Yes.
Massive 29 power, including the Sunspot's 35.
That's a pretty big kind of combination. The only thing you've got to watch out for is that if you don't get Magik, then you get stuck on turn 6 with a 1-cost She-Hulk and a 6-cost Infinaut that you can't bring into play. So you've got to bring in something else, and that's why maybe sometimes I use Taskmaster, because Taskmaster can do that as well. No, why are you shaking your head?
I don't have him.
Oh.
I do not have Taskmaster, which is a very sad thing, but yes, no Taskmaster means no good stuff for me in a way.
How has it been quite easy to win with that deck?
Yes, I've gotten my rank up to 65, which is a lot higher than I got last time, so it's been helping a lot.
Good.
Definitely good deck.
Are you going to keep it, or are you thinking about changing it out at all?
I might keep it. I'm going to keep it. We'll see how it goes next time, and yeah. This is your deck time.
It's my horrible deck time, and I call it a horrible deck because it is a horrible deck that I've put a couple of videos up already on this deck. So I'm going to just kind of go through it. First of all, deck number 1, card number 1, Sunspot. We've already spoken about it's at the end of every turn you gain 1+ energy for each unspent energy. It's really good if you find yourself in kind of early game in turn kind of 2 and 3 if you've not got a card that you want, or you've not got a card that's going to come up. And I find that Sunspot has saved me in a lot of games, especially when I don't get the combination that I need. My next card, Luke Cage. I'm really, really surprised that there's not any other cards that are like Luke Cage. Luke Cage seems to be... there's Colossus, and Colossus doesn't allow its own power to be reduced or anything, but apart from Luke Cage, I don't think there's any kind of other cards out there that have kind of Luke Cage's power. Not that I'm aware of. Shadow King. Shadow King just reduces everybody's power down to their base level, but Luke Cage actually stops people's power from being reduced. The only problem with Luke Cage is you've got to be clever when you play them, because if you play them at the very, very beginning of the round, then people know that you're going to be playing potentially the next, the deck that this is all centered around. Psylocke.
Psylocke. I don't have Psylocke.
We like a bit of Psylocke because next turn you get 1+1 energy, and that is useful on a +2, especially if you're going to be playing the combination that I'm going to be playing. And I find that it's helped me. I sometimes play Psylocke towards the end of the game as opposed to the beginning of the game to get me a couple of extra bits of energy. Yeah. Next, the star of the show, Hazmat.
Very self-explanatory. Flex -1 to all cards.
On everybody. And flex -1 on everybody. So this is the thing. As soon as you play Hazmat or as soon as you play Luke Cage, you're giving everybody a kind of a big notice as to what you could potentially be doing. So you just got to be wary of when you actually show them up.
Yes.
But very, very good. Alongside of them, Spider-Woman's another card that does kind of negative. Typhoid Mary's somebody that's they're quite powerful card.
Typhoid Mary's only minuses for you.
Yes.
She's a 4/10, I think.
She's a 4/10, yeah. Yes. Then we've got my friend and yours, the big cuddly cat, Zabu.
I don't have Zabu.
Zabu is your 4 cost cards cost 1 less, which is great if you're playing kind of Wong and lots of other these 4 cost cards that you need to be coming in. Absorb Man, people like that. So Zabu is do you know what is really strange is I've not seen Zabu tie in with Wave, and I thought that was strange because for a while I was trying to play Zabu with Wave.
I think it might just not work.
I think it has to be the kind of the based cost of the card is the one that's affected. So Zabu's good. Zabu's good for bringing some kind of cost down. Then we've got Ironheart.
Ironheart's just Ironheart. Gives all your cards a little boost.
+3. It's 3 friendly cards, kind of +2 power. The reason that I bring Ironheart in
is maybe you didn't get Luke Cage.
Yes, I didn't get Luke Cage and I'm not able to play Hazmat, or I get Luke Cage and then Hazmat doesn't appear, or I've got Hazmat and I decide I need to wait until the very, very end and something. And Ironheart has won me a lot of matches with the kind of the next combo that we play, which is Mystique. Now I'm going to come back to Mystique in a second because Mystique basically the last card we play if it's got an ongoing copy its text if it's in play. And the reason we use Mystique
is to copy
Captain Wong.
Well, just Wong.
Just Wong, okay. Does it not say Captain Wong?
Captain Wong is not his real name.
Captain Wong's not. He's the supreme. Was he the supreme wizard or supreme magical being? I don't know. He's I mean, I can't believe it. I'm even like, he's a wizard. He's literally a wizard. I'm saying he's potentially one of my favourite cards. So Wong tied in with Mystique means that Mystique basically copies all of Wong's powers, which means that then it opens you up for every other card that you've played in this combination, whether it be Ironheart, that's then going to give everybody, and lots of them, +2 powers. And then after that, I've got Absorbing Man, who's also a 4.
Like Mystique? Like, I think the exact same ability as Mystique?
Well, they copy the on-reveal instead of an ongoing, which means if you get stuck and you don't have your Hazmat or you don't have your Luke Cage, and even if Wong doesn't work out for you, then you can play an Absorbing Man after you've done like say Ironheart if you want to kind of double up, and then you get that, and then you get into maybe your Odins of this world. I've also got Magik.
Very popular card.
Only because it allows with the additional power in play, it allows a bit of kind of sideways movement if you need to. Basically, if you don't get a choice. I've kind of switched this in with a couple of things. I'll either have Magik or I might have Ronan, the Accuser.
Yeah, Ronan the Accuser gives +2 for each card in your opponent's hand.
Yes. If you've got Dark Hulk, that's in their entire deck, and I've seen very, very few decks with kind of like Darkhawk. And then I've got Spider Woman, because Spider Woman's brilliant because they've got, not because of what they do, but because they've got a +8, they've got an 8 power for a 5 card, which means if you get stuck and you don't see like an Odin, you can have Wong sitting there with Mystique, and then you can have your Hazmat, and then you can put Spider Woman on top of that, and Spider Woman can play up to like a couple of times, so they can really kind of wreck and also give you that +8 power. Because the issue that you've got with Mystique and Wong and even Hazmat is that their power isn't very, very high, whereas Spider Woman can come in and kind of hopefully offset what your opponent's got directly kind of facing you. And then last but not least, we've got the big kind of granddaddy of them all, Mr. Odin.
Yeah, just overall very good card. He's only good because he makes all unreveal things happen again. So he's like, you use him with Wong because he's an ongoing makes all unreveal things twice.
Yeah.
So I don't get as much how it works, but
well, I've played Wong, Mystique, Hazmat, and then Odin, and I've had people basically on the other side of the rift with like negative 70 after they've played all the cards. So it's a real devastating move. And some people retreat, and some people just watch their numbers kind of fall into the massive negative. So that's one of the main decks that I'm kind of playing with at the moment. Those are the decks that we're playing with. Is there any cards at the moment that you're kind of seeing an awful lot at the moment, that you're seeing more than you used to?
I don't know why, but I've seen loads. What cards are there? I've been seeing a lot of Odins.
Have you?
I used to not see them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I'm seeing lots of red skulls.
I used them in a deck before. He's very good.
I've seen lots of red skulls, and I don't know if it's because people are using it. Because even though he's got decent cost, I think was it a 5?
5/13.
Yeah.
But he only pluses 1 onto all the other cards from the opponent.
So he's not a huge benefit to everybody else when you play him, but I have seen him being used against a Shuri.
So you go Shuri Red Skull, that makes him a 26, and then the other person only gets 4.
Yeah. So it's a huge, and also you can use. If you use Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster, then quite literally you can have kind of like 26s in both places. So I've seen that's one I've not seen. So I've seen them quite a lot. I've seen that kind of quite a lot more. I'm seeing I'm starting to see quite a few kind of Odin and Lady Thor combinations.
Yeah, I'm seeing Thor absolutely loads right now.
And you know what I think it is? I think what people are doing is they're kind of using Thor on reveal. So they're using Thor with, say, Wong and Mystique to get kind of 3 or 4 copies of Mjolnir.
Yeah, and then they just go bang, 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 bang.
And then you use Lady Thor to kind of bring those Mjolnirs into their deck so that they can absolutely thoroughly boost absolutely thoroughly boost that Thor all the way up. What about cards that you're not seeing?
I don't know why, but I've just not been seeing Devil Dinosaur in a way that much.
That's a very, very good shout. For a while, I think I saw a lot of
dinosaur users.
I saw a lot of dinosaur users. I saw a lot of the Moon Girl combo.
Yeah.
So I'd see people doing kind of Devil Dinosaur, Moon Girl, and also in some ways She-Hulk as well.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. If you double up She-Hulk and then Magik and then don't play She-Hulk to the end.
Yeah.
Then you double up your deck, but you also get the advantage. But you're right, I've not seen an awful lot of Devil. I've not seen an awful lot of Devil Dinosaur for kind of like the longest time. That's a really, really good shout. I don't even know if I've got a Devil Dinosaur kind of deck kind of going. Basically, not at the moment. The other thing is as well is, what about cards? New cards, other ones that are new, but you've not seen.
I don't know why no one's using Master Mold. No one.
I've not seen. I don't know if it's not been released or something like that.
It's definitely released.
Is it definitely released?
Yeah.
I've not seen it. I've really, really not seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've drawn it once, and that was through like a random generator.
Yeah.
But I've not seen it kind of otherwise.
I'm surprised people aren't using it with Ronan, the user.
Yeah, that would be good. Do you know the other one I've not seen?
What?
Nimrod.
Nimrod had its place for about 10 minutes, I feel like. Then people are like, okay, time to go back to their Venom Destroy decks and everything.
I thought that people were going to boost up. I don't think there's a way of really easily boosting up Nimrod.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really an easy way of boosting up Nimrod, so that when you duplicated them, when you destroyed them, then there was no way you could boost them up, because it's not like, say, Ultron, where you create drones or anything like that. When you destroy Nimrod, you get 2 copies of Nimrod in the other locations, and I've seen people use Destroyer.
Yeah, Destroyer, Camertage Destroyer and Nimrod are very good friends.
Is there any cards you'd like to get into your deck?
I've been going around the place. I've been looking in the shop a lot. I don't know why, but I really want I don't know. Right now I'm trying to get Black Panther because he's pinned for tokens. If I can get him, he might fit in quite well with my deck. I think.
I'm not sure who I want. I always wanted Stature. And Stature basically costs 1 if your opponent discarded a card from their hand this game. So I think Stature would be a really, really good one if you got Stature would be really, really good if you were using your discard deck. But I've not been using. But with discard deck, we'll talk kind of like another time. I guess Stature. I can't think of anyone else at the moment because I'm kind of okay for kind of decks just now. I guess Silver Surfer.
I don't need Silver Surfer.
I've not seen that. Well, I've seen people use Silver Surfer for a couple of decks, a Bast deck when all the power goes to 3. So they've used Silver Surfer with a Bast deck, but again, I don't know if it works the same kind of way. We need some investigation. Yeah, and what we'd like to do is we'd like to hear about your favourite decks. So feel free to. We're going to be releasing this across our normal kind of podcast feed, so let us know in the kind of the comments, drop us a message on Facebook, drop us a message on our usual places. You can find us, as always, by going to the internet webs and searching for We're Not Wizards. We're on all the different kind of places with faces and races and Jake might be there or not. We don't know yet. We'll see. And if you like what you've listened to tonight, then tell other people about it. The intention is to maybe do this on a regular basis to talk about the decks that we're playing with and just keep everybody aware of this very good game.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Okay, unless they kind of start charging us lots and lots of money for it, and then it'll be a bad game. So. As we say, thank you for listening. Tell other people about this kind of very short and very quick show. And remember, we talk about Marvel Snap because with a bit of snap, you'll find that the job's a game. But until the next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
Stay safe, roll 6s, and snap!
wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.